Hi, we're Mel and Missy, respectfully a clinical mental health therapist and fear fighter life coach. But it goes beyond that. We are representatives of you.
Trashed It is a brand that helps women focus on their next level of freedom by getting rid of the emotional garbage in their lives, whether it's toxic relationships, thought patterns, stigmas, etc.
We represent mothers and single mothers, daughters, wives, and divorcees, business professionals, entrepreneurs, and even Christians and ministers of the gospel.
We're trashing it all.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Trashed It. I'm your girl Mel.
I'm Missy.
And Missy, for those who are just joining us for the first time, let them know what they are going to hear here on the Trashed It podcast.
Yes, so we trash the norms and dismantle the stereotypes that have confined women far too long. Our show is tailored for every woman who's ever been told that she is too much. So welcome to the space where you can be unapologetically you.
Yes. So listen, let's hop right into it.
I'm ready, girl.
I don't really have an opinion, but I'm just saying.
I don't really have an opinion, but I'm just saying.
Yes.
Can we take a minute to celebrate Stephanie Terry in Evansville, Indiana, who just made history as the first African-American and female mayor?
Yes. Let's give it up for Mayor-elect Stephanie Terry. It has truly, man, the atmosphere in this city has been on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start crying every time I talk.
I know. And so I think maybe for those who don't know, right? Like we know that Indiana or Evansville isn't the only place where history was made during this past election, but Trashed It was formed and birthed through our relationship having met in Evansville, Indiana. Right. And because our family, we lived there for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's definitely very close to who we are. And shout out
to Mayor-elect
Mayor-elect. Oh my God, that sounds so good to say.
It does. And I want to play something real quick. So I remember the day that she filed, she walked down the hallway to this song right here. It's My Time, Kelly Price.
Ah, yes. I love it.
When you think about that, it is her time. It's our time. It's her time.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to her. And so I know that we will be inviting her on this platform.
Oh, yes, we will.
So you talk about Trashed It, norms and dismantling the stereotypes. Come through.
Yes.
So congratulations, Mayor-elect Stephanie Terry.
Mayor-elect. Look, we have to do it like that. Mayor-elect.
Yes. I love it.
Yes. So anything else we don't have an opinion about? We're just saying.
I don't have an opinion, but I'm just saying you look very sun-kissed.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This is my South Beach being a hot girl hair. Yes.
I love it.
Yes. So my birthday was earlier this month.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Because it's all about the Scorpios.
Okay.
So my husband planned a surprise trip. And it was to South Beach, Miami. And so before we left, I had a hair appointment and he wouldn't tell me where we were going. And I was just trying to get some hints. So for my hair appointment, I was intending to get my hair straightened. And so I was asking him, I said, so the place we're going, you've already told me that I will need to pack because it will be on a plane. Like we will have to get on a plane. And he said, yes. And I said, so is it a place that is friendly to Black girl natural hair? He says, in typical male fashion, I don't know what that means. And I said, so for the typical Black girl that has natural hair, our hair does not like humidity. I said, it does the, we get the shrinkage,
Stuck in, right?
And I said, so is the place we're going, is it going to be a humid place, or will it be friendly for straightened or blown out hair? He said, oh yeah, no, you probably don't want to do that. So
I love it.
So yes, I went with braids instead. And
Come
it paid
on,
off.
Professor P. I love it. It looks good.
Yeah. Thank you. And for the record, you are freshly shaven over there.
I am. Yes. I've given up. Like, this is me.
Yes, I love it though. I think
Thank you.
You rock
I've been
it
wanting
so
braids, but I think I'm gonna just go on like Love My Hair or Amazon.com and just find me a braided wig.
Listen, and when you get tired of it, you can snatch it
Snatch
right off. Right.
Well, happy birthday. I'm glad
Thank
that you had a fantabulous time. Very refreshed and very relaxing. Yes.
Absolutely. So, Missy, what are we trashing today?
Well, honey, let me look at my phone and get this list.
Well,
so yes,
child,
you did hear me say list. We talked a bit about it last time, with our podcast, but I think it's something that is still worth mentioning and maybe giving some attention to it in its own. And it's the list, of course. The list that we keep hearing about almost every single day on some type of social media platform. And if anyone does not know, it is the list of that a woman stated that is not good places to take women on their very first dates, right? It wasn't anything janky, if you will, but I think even with you and I talking, realizing that, you know what, this list has categorized women and put everybody in the same box.
Right.
Like, I might be a Starbucks first date chick, you might not be.
Right.
So I think what this list has really, and so you talk about debunking, right? So I think what this list has shown is that everybody is not the same. And so that's just what we're going to talk about outside of the list itself. But I think, and for me, I think even seasons, right? Because I'm a single woman in my 50s. And so what some of these restaurants might be appealing to some others, like, just take Starbucks and Barnes and Noble for me. That's my love language, right? Coffee and a good book and conversation. So yeah, but that's what we are going to talk about today, is that list.
Yes. And so I think what I hate is this notion that because this list came out, all women must think this way. We're all gold diggers, or we're all materialistic. And and then I think the other thing I continue to hear a lot is now all women are toxic. We're all, we're all the same. And just because
we're not appreciative.
And just because one person has an opinion, or even though maybe several of us do, does not mean we all think the same, because we don't.
That part.
We absolutely don't. So I think that's the bigger thing that we're trashing, is just like this notion that we are one size fits all in our thoughts. In our thoughts. And how we process things, and in what we want, what we like. And so far from the truth.
It is. It's very far from the truth.
Because we are so multifaceted.
We are. We really are. I think some of the parts of the list, right? So I'm gonna read some of the restaurants. So there was Chili's, there was Chipotle, there was Olive Garden, the movies, Your House, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, ice cream shop, ice cream date, coffee dates, church, Denny's, the gym, somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, movie night. I mean, all of this, and you just stated, Mel, every woman is not the same. Every woman is not the same. And I think, I think as women, right, we joke like, oh, well, goodness, whoever wrote this list or created this list, is she even grateful to be on a date? So then I'm even wondering, I said, hey, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think said woman has come forward to who created this list.
Not that we know of. Now, if anyone who's watching this or listening, if you know who the original creator of the list, as we lovingly refer to it as, if you know who that person, who that lady is, please put it in our DMs.
Yes, let us know, because I think it would be a great conversation to have, right? Because I think also wanting to know what season in your life are you in for this list.
Right.
You stated the last episode of our podcast is going on a date is literally collecting the data.
It is. And
now, if I have seafood allergies, you're going to know that Red Lobster is not the place for me, right? Now, true.
If you've collected your data.
If that part, that.
Right.
Of course, and we know that they also have chicken, right? But who also is not to say that they don't cook their food in the same grease? I mean, so again, it's so many avenues and so many boxes that you need to check off and doing all of this. And I just found it amazing that whomever created this list, that folks was dragging this individual.
Dragging.
I'm like, come on, social media.
And look, but here's the thing, dragging all of us.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
Now
that part.
It's not just this woman who's created this list, because the list is garnering all of this attention from both sides, from some that agree and from some that don't.
Exactly.
There's now this thought process out there that clearly we all think this way.
Yeah. And we don't.
We do not.
They say different strokes for different folks, but again, it goes back. Yes.
That part.
You gotta know who your audience is.
Yeah.
Like whoever came up and said that all women are toxic. Yep, that's why all women are this way. No, we're not. We are not this way. And I think until we collectively as women start voicing that, right? And getting strength behind our nose, behind our, hey, hold up, that's not me. I know who I am. I don't have to tell you who I am, what I like, but what you're not going to do. That list is not a representation of my likes and dislikes and my do's and my don'ts. Maybe some places are, right? Just because there's some things I like to eat and some things that I don't. But you can't put me in that same category as this chick or group of women, right, that have come up with this list. And who's even to say it's a woman? I'm like, Dad, could it have been a man?
Could have been. It could have been. But, even as you were saying that, the thing I was thinking was, even in how some of us view the list, right? Even in just how you said it. If we don't agree with the list, we even say it with this disdain, right? Instead of, and I think this is one thing that women, especially us Black women, don't do a great job of. Is really sticking with each other.
That part.
Because at the end of the day, what we really could say is, if the list works for you, it works. If some of the places work for you, cool. If others don't, cool. But we're not going to knock the woman or person that came up with the list, because at the end of the day, we're almost doing the same thing, right? Where we are looking at it from this perspective of, oh, I'm not one of them. Who is the them?
Exactly. Because, hey, truth be told, transparency, vulnerability moment, I personally haven't went out on a date in years, right? It's been maybe 4 years.
We're going to get to that. Yeah, we are.
and so even with me looking at the list, because I could come from the perspective like, girl, at least you have options, right? Like, I can take myself to these places on a solo date, but if I'm wanting to be in the presence of a gentleman or a suitor, if you will,
Mhm.
what would best in this season that I am in, what would best serve me? And I would get satisfaction from. You know, I
Mhm.
think a buffet is on there. Now I love sushi. Now, where we live, there's not an all you can eat sushi restaurant. I know there's some down south and some further up north. That
Mhm.
would suit my palate just fine. Just fine. Because Mel
Mhm.
also knows I'm a foodie, right? So yeah, I think it just goes back to seasons. I was not offended by the list. I was more offended by how you gonna say that all women are like that? You don't even know me, sir
Right.
or ma'am.
Right. Right. But no, I think it was the opinion of others
Mm-hmm.
led to the thought that this is clearly how women think,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. And I think it's so unfortunate because it
Mhm.
happens so often in just whatever our experiences are, whether it's we are all mad Black women, or
Mhm.
we are all aggressive, or
Mhm.
we all
Bitter women.
we're all bitter,
Bitter,
we're
yeah,
all
yeah.
toxic, um,
Mhm.
we all talk with our hands, or we're all
Mhm.
offended easily.
Exactly.
Like,
No, we're not.
no, like
Yeah.
we as women, as humans, we are all individual
Mhm.
and have our own thought patterns and
Yes.
our own belief systems. Um, and just I think it would do people well to just
Mhm. Mhm.
let me be me.
That's right. And that is true. That is so, so true. Um,
Yeah.
but when do you get to that point in having those conversations of let me be me?
What do you mean?
Is it even worth letting people know, hey, just let me be me? Is it asking a question or is it giving an excuse or seeking the approval of others?
To let me be me?
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And I think prime example, I can out myself. You know, you and I have had conversations many times. Mel, I'm going to grow my hair. I'm going to get braids. I'm going to grow it because I love it. And then what do? I shave it all off because that's just me. And then, you know, some people will say, well, why do you shave your head? Hey, I don't have to give a disclaimer, right? Kind of like it's my head and I like it. You don't have to, bye. This is who I am. And so either you like it or you don't like it.
Mhm.
And then at the end of the day, I really don't care because it's who I am. And I don't know if I can equate that to what I just stated, but I think sometimes either A, we might take offense or we feel like we owe an explanation. I
Mhm.
don't have to owe anyone an explanation as being a woman when it comes to this list of what I like and I don't like. If
Right.
you're not the suitor that is pursuing me.
Mhm. Gotcha. So I think it's layered. I
Mhm.
think it can be both.
Mm.
It can be the opportunity to stand in your truth,
Mhm.
right? But it could also be the opportunity to to back down from showing up as one's authentic,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because if being me
Mhm.
um isn't something I'm comfortable with, or maybe I'm comfortable with it but it's unhealthy, right?
Mm.
Maybe I do have some toxic traits, or
Mhm.
there are things about me that I don't want to do the work to change. Then to say, well, that's just me, right? That's a cop
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
However, if I am Black girl me in white corporate America that can show up with braids and
Mhm.
earrings, then that is me saying this is just me in a the way of this is who I authentically am,
Mhm.
and I'm not trying to bend to be included in the stereotypical white corporate America perspective. Right. Like I'm cool on that. I'm cool because like you clearly you hired me.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you hired me in all of my blackness.
That part.
You knew it by the time you hired me. Even if you had blind interviews.
Yeah.
By the time you hire me, you know who I am.
Exactly.
So I think, it could be either or. But I think we deserve the right to say versus everyone else has an opinion of who we are and what we think.
Yeah. What we like and don't like.
What we like and what we don't like.
I just love how people are making noise on both sides, right, about this. Because something that you would think that will be kind of a one-hit wonder conversation after weeks, and I think even months, is still going on. Because I remember about a month ago, I saw, I think it might have been on MSNBC, a young lady who went on a first date and didn't get out of the car because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory. And so I'm like, did that stem from this video, right?
I don't know.
Or was it something that, let me take this a little step further and add a little bit more. So again, it goes back to who you are. It goes back to, as you stated first, collecting the data that you need.
Yeah.
For a date. Let me find out about this person before I even ask, Yeah. And then you got to own who you are. They're gonna, if you don't like onions and tomatoes, we'll say it. If you don't like ice cream and it doesn't agree with you, say it. If you have a seafood allergy, speak up and say something. I mean, you talk about open your mouth and say something. That's what it's about.
Right.
But I think people, unfortunately, again, it goes back to social media, right? Excuse me, has taken something that I think came from a place of being genuine.
Yeah.
And now has twisted it to make it fit everybody. And no.
Yeah.
You're an 8, I'm not.
Yeah, we're not one band, one sound.
No, we're not. We're not. But we can stick together, right? So don't take that togetherness and use it to I think to give us those stereotypes, because we're all not the same. Clearly we're not.
Clearly.
So I just kind of wanted to continue that conversation about the list, right? And I love for people, to respond back to us about their list. I think that would be cool to know what their list is. Because what, Mel?
What's on your list?
What's on your list? Like, your list is different from me because you're married. And I'm not. So, I mean, I know I talk about that all the time. It seems like all the time I bring it up, but I think that's what makes us so different, but yet unique. And that we're taking a stance on, our whole solid foundation is that we both realize that we want to trash the norms and dismantle stereotypes.
Right. Absolutely.
You're in your 40s. I'm in my 50s. You're married. I'm not. You still have kids at home. My kids are grown and gone. And I'm also a grandmother. So, I mean, it's so many different dynamic seasons, because guess what people fail to realize, even on the list, what if you're dating a young nana, right? A young grandmama, that, the relationship is going further. You guys are really getting serious. Now we're going to include maybe a grandkids on a date. Hey, get to know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you be open to Chuck E. Cheese? Would you be open to Gaddy Town, to a indoor Top Golf, anything like that?
Yeah.
So I think you got to know who your person is. Because guess what? I mean, you can't take me to Buffalo Wild Wings on a serious date, and you trying to get, we're trying to take it to another level. And I got grandkids that are under the age of 5 or maybe 10, right? Just because what can they do? They will get on our nerves, wanting to go potty and talking about, Nana. And I'm trying to pay attention, but we're not in the atmosphere that is conducive even to the other individuals.
Right.
That are joining us.
Right. So I think, everybody has the right to create their own list their own set of desires and needs that they need to have met. We deserve to do that.
We do.
And not be judged for it.
That part.
Not be judged for
That part.
Yeah.
That part. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we've trashed.
I think so. This was definitely a continuation of the last episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we have.
I love it.
Yes. Anything else we want to add for the people before we go this time?
You know what? Just making sure that you are following us, that you set your notifications, that you are sharing, that you're liking, but that you are definitely following who we are. And that's trash it. We're on the social media streets, as these young kids say. We're on these platforms. We're on IG. We're on Facebook. And we have some wonderful and exciting things in 24, but you're not going to know unless you are a subscriber, right? Who has set his or her notifications.
Set those notifications.
You got to set the notifications. And just, we are ones, we do that. I like to say the call and response, right? Because we both church girls. If we yell out, we want you to yell out to us.
Right.
We want to hear
from back. You. Don't be rude.
No. Yes. So I think, you know what? We just want people to subscribe, to follow, to like, and to share. It's not hard.
It ain't that hard.
It's not.
It ain't that
that's
hard.
Our list, right? Our list. Subscribers, like, share, follow, repeat. Subscribers, like, share, follow, repeat.
And they say closed mouths don't get fed.
Don't get fed.
We're letting you know what the goal is. Yeah. We are trying to up our followership, our subscribers, and we need more downloads. So you try to help us with this. Help us with it. Because we see that you're watching, we see that you're listening, but this ain't the hookup. Like, you've been rocking with us. If you've been rocking with us all this time, then we need you to commit.
Yeah. What we talking about? Pre-pandemic or at the height of a pandemic, and then pandemic stopped. And so this wasn't a.
We are not the booty call. We are not
podcast. That part.
Yeah, we need you to commit to this thing.
But it's true. I like that though.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So I think we've definitely trashed it, and we have given you our petition. We
Please, sir and ma'am.
We have put it out there for you.
Yeah.
So until next time, have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.